Hi, I'm Josh, the founder of the Accountability Group, and hi, I'm Josh, and I am still fighting the battle against the diseases of addiction and mental health. And yes, my battery did die, so on that previous reading, Touchstones, I have just learned that based on the amount that I talk through these videos, that the battery life is basically 6 readings. It's 7 and some change. Well, it's 6 and some change, but I use up a lot of time, so I'll just finish up the Touchstones part by saying that I hope that you like our channel, subscribe to our channel, like our videos, and most importantly, use the comment section to share, if you're a newcomer, what you're going through, and if you have experience and time underneath your belt, share your experience, strength, and hope. And that's why I created the accountability group, so that we can all hold each other accountable and build this community of individuals that help keep each other sober and healthy and happy, or not necessarily just happy, but in a safe space, that we have a safe community where we can keep each other accountable and healthy. Because I know, since I have co-occurring disorders, that's what I have to deal with. And the last thing that I was saying before I think it probably cut off is that you're talking directly to me when you're engaging on YouTube, and you're talking directly to me when you're using Twitter, whether you're using the hashtag recoveryposse or hashtag odaat, which is one day at a time. If you're looking at the profile tag building hope, that's my handle, you're talking directly to this person. You're speaking with me. And on Instagram, which is tag recovery, you're talking to me in the comment section. You're speaking directly to the founder. Those are the 3 things that I handle from the social aspect. My marketing people, they handle all the other random stuff that I don't interact with. But these things are very personal to me. Twitter, I'm very sensitive about, because my community matters to me. Like, I don't really, the numbers, the likes, that stuff is not as important to me as the quality of the content being produced. So I hope that this is helping you. I hope that this content is meaningful to at least one person out there. I hope it resonates with one person out there. I hope that if you follow me on Twitter under tag building hope, that those tweets help you, that you can feel comfortable enough to send me direct messages, because I've already received quite a few from many of you, and that, you know, we can go back and forth and build a healthy community there with tag building hope on Twitter and tag recovery on Instagram. I know a lot of you have DM'd me, or you write positive things in the comments, and I really appreciate that, because that's what the accountability group is all about. Yes, it is a startup. Yes, we are a social venture, but we are a social venture in the sense that we are actually a social venture. We don't give 1 to 2% away. No, we're trying to raise revenues and generate money from our pre-seed round and our seed round to help support people get into 30-day programs, to help with therapy, psychiatry, to help with subsidizing medication that people wouldn't possibly have, to get them into treatment centers that they possibly would never be able to go to get them into sober livings, to help out with job applications, resumes, cover letters, get them opportunities back to get back on their feet. You know, I personally have connections with the VA. I realize I'm rambling, and this is more, I'm going to use this more as just kind of a video to discuss the accountability group as opposed to jumping in the readings. So this will kind of be a little bit of a mix-up. So let's rein it in here. Hi, I'm Josh, I'm the founder of the accountability group, which is going to be a mobile application and desktop application that is focused on helping people suffering from the diseases of addiction and mental health. Eventually, it'll expand to other parts of accountability, but TAG, the accountability group, is focused primarily right now on individuals suffering from the diseases of addiction and mental health. And I'm using myself, Josh, as kind of the face, but it's not the face, because there's millions of us who struggle and who struggle in silence. Recent data has shown that 1 in 5 people that you pass by each day suffers from some sort of form of mental health issues, that there are 67 million of us that are suffering from some sort of form of substance abuse, and then 75 million or so from mental health. Just recently released some of the data. Also, the CDC recently just released that 101,000 and some change people have OD'd and died from the opioid epidemic. So this video is kind of wrapping up touchstones, but it's also discussing the severity of what we're going through, what we're dealing with, and how important it is to me personally, because this is my baby. You will pretty much only see me or me doing interviews with other people that are brothers and sisters of the struggle, whether that's dealing with substance abuse or mental health, or they're dealing with both. When I'm at my new place, this setup's going to be entirely different, and there will be like microphones, and there'll be other things that are that we're going to try and incorporate and make it a little bit more studio-esque, I guess. Is the best way to describe it. A little bit more professional, I guess is probably a better way to describe it. But there are three main ways to contact, to interact with me directly, aside from the website and emailing me. But like, the 3 main ways are here on YouTube in the comment section. If you're a newcomer, please share. Tell us about your day 1. Tell us what you're going through. We know, or at least I know, about post-acute withdrawal syndrome. I know what happens with those symptoms. I've experienced them multiple times, painfully multiple times. I also have recovery under my belt, so I know what's worked for me to stay within the guardrails and to continue down my road to recovery, and what's worked with me because of my sponsor and my grand sponsor, and going to meetings and working with both of my fellowships. But that might not be what works for you, because I have friends where just going back to church has worked for them and they've stayed sober, or they use Smart Recovery, or they use Celebrate Recovery. There's a bunch of different programs out there, so you don't just have to use AA or NA. I'm not suggesting that, because I don't think it's anybody's place to push you into recovery. This is a program of intentional willingness. If you want to be sober, if you want to be in recovery, you have to work hard at it. It is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, without question, without question. And I did undergrad and grad school at Stanford University on a full scholarship, and I had to maintain a certain GPA, which I was able to maintain. But the only reason I'm explaining that is that I did that while in active addiction. And that's not to pat myself on the back. It was some of the most miserable times of my life. I felt so empty and hollow internally. Externally, everything was going like this. Internally, everything was going downwards like that. I felt like a terrible human being. I felt like a piece of crap all the time. Like, internally, I felt awful. I would cry by myself. I felt alone. I was in a fraternity with like 47 other people, and I felt alone. I had friends all over campus, and I felt alone. It was like that once I got into the working world. But then things kind of clicked, and at one point I had 3 years, 274 days, and for whatever reason I thought somehow this pickle had turned back into a cucumber and I could socially drink. And that spun out of control pretty quickly. And then I basically went on a 8 to 10 year bender from 2006, and then it finally clicked again, and I found new sponsors. I relieved a lot of them, and now I have had a great sponsor and grand sponsor who have helped maintain, or at least in my mind, helped maintain my sobriety. So while this should have been a reading and I should have jumped into our next reading, this has actually just been a dialogue, more of a, hey, meet the founder type session. I don't really talk too much about my experience on the outside world, but I will kind of dabble a little bit into that, since that's kind of what this has turned into. I mean, that is, I guess, kind of the blessing that my higher power, the universe, has given me by the battery dying. So this will be a little bit longer, and I will try and wrap it up here by saying that, when you're watching these videos, when you're looking at YouTube and the accountability group, whether it's on the website that you're seeing these videos or you're seeing them on YouTube, you're talking to me, the founder of the Accountability Group. This is actually a social venture where we're trying to generate revenue and profits, where we take a significant chunk of those profits, not 1 or 2%, nothing where we're like, oh, we're doing matching. No, we're taking a significant chunk of those profits to put people into 30-day programs, 60-day programs, 90-day programs, to put them in sober living houses, to get them in IOP, PHP, to get them therapy so they have a therapist or a psychiatrist, to subsidize if they don't have the money to cover the medications that they need. We're trying to figure out ways to hold one another accountable so that there don't have to be record-breaking numbers that the CDC puts out, that there have been over 101,000 deaths just in America from the opioid epidemic, let alone all the other substances and mental health deaths that occurred, whether it be suicide or alcohol or anything else under the sun that counts as substance abuse or a mental health disorder. So we are here genuinely to help. I'm here genuinely to help. I realized I had clenched fists there because I was like, I'm like holding on to you. And that's what it was. I'm holding on to this because it's my baby. It means that much to me. I may lose members of my team. They may go on and do other things because I have a very talented team, and they might get poached by some of the bigger companies, and that's just how it works in startups. This is actually, if you wanted to do the math, this is actually my 18th startup. 15 of them failed miserably. 2 of them were somewhat successful, and I guess this is like my 18th or maybe 19th startup, depending on how you count them. I think it would be my 19th because I still own my own IT consulting firm right now. So yeah, technically this is my 19th startup, but I plan on exiting from that management consulting, IT consulting aspect of it and focusing on TAG, and that's what I've been doing exclusively for the past month and a half, 2 months. So if you need to talk to me, reach out to me here on YouTube. Subscribe to our channel, like our videos, but most importantly, use the comment section because newcomers and people with recovery alike can help one another. Our Twitter handle is Tag Building Hope, where you will be specifically interacting with me. I don't let anybody else touch YouTube. I don't let anybody else touch Twitter because this is a sensitive topic, and the only people that I feel can properly understand this are people who can empathize, and that means that you can relate, that I've been in your shoes or you've been in mine, and we can have an earnest and honest conversation where if we met each other in real life and we didn't really have anything in common except for the fact that we were individuals who happened to fall into the category of being addicts or suffering from mental health, we'd click and we'd relate. I've been to enough therapy sessions, I've been to enough rehabs, I've been to enough obviously group therapies to where we click because we were vibrating on the same wavelength. And then in terms of our Instagram, I'm the one that handles that. That's Tag Recovery. So Twitter is Tag Building Hope, Instagram is Tag Recovery, and YouTube is the Accountability Group. And in those 3 circumstances, you're dealing just with me, the founder, because that's how personal this is, how important it is to save just one life. If all of this bootstrapping, all of this work that we're doing, trying to raise money in the pre-seed round and the seed round and hopefully grow this company, if it all gets shuttered and falls flat on its face, but we've saved one life, we made an impact and saved one person's life, then to me, that is the greatest gift, that is the biggest win that I could think of, is just starting with that first person. And I am just trusting the process right now. I'm trying to do what I can do to help as many people as possible, but I'm starting right now with the first user of the Accountability Group's desktop platform, but also more importantly, our mobile application that we're building, because I am the end user. I am an addict. I am partially, that's one facet of who I am. I am an addict. I do suffer from mental health issues. So I, Josh, know what that's like because I am going to be one of those end users. So I can relate to anyone who wants to discuss what they're experiencing with their active addiction or how to recover, or people who have more recovery than me. I gain insights from them just as much as I gain insights from newcomers. So I'm sorry that this turned into, well, I'm not sorry. This is what my higher power, I guess, decided to make this, is that it's just me freestyling and talking to you about, the just different mediums that you can contact me, and you will have a genuine listening ear who understands, who unfortunately and fortunately understands what it's like to ride in ambulances, to go to hospitals, to go to detoxes, to go to rehabs, to go to therapy, group therapy, to see a psychiatrist, to have a doctor, to go through sponsors, to go through grant sponsors, to have finally gotten to a point where I have time underneath my belt and I can talk to you without being a hypocrite and being like, oh, well, yeah, I have this great company, but actually, I'm relapsing and getting messed up all the time. No, that's not the case. You're dealing with someone who has real recovery. It's really clicked for me, and I really care about you. The person who's watching this right now, I care about you, and I don't even know you. I don't know you. You don't really know me aside from these videos, but hopefully after more and more of these videos, more interactions on Twitter, more interactions on Instagram, more interactions on our website, as we grow, you'll get to know me a little bit better, and maybe I'll get to know you a little bit better, and maybe, hey, we'll see one another at one of the large conventions and get to actually meet in real life, and how awesome would that be? So with that being said, what went from being, what should have been a reading and me wrapping up touchstones because my battery died, it has now become me having a founder's discussion with, the community, with the 67 million people that are suffering from diseases of addiction and the 75 million people that are suffering from mental health issues just in the United States. We're talking 1 in 5, but I honestly think it's more like 1 in 3. So at 347 million people, we're looking at about 100 that are dealing with this addiction. That is no friggin' joke, that's a lot. Nine figures, that's a lot. That's a lot of people. So I just want everybody to be safe. I don't want people to have to go what I've gone through. Ooh. I'm living a lot of living amends because the people that I care about, not all of them made it. Not all of them can sit here and can start up a company and try and help people because they didn't make it. Because I've been to too many memorials, I've been to too many vigils, I've been to too many funerals and burials. And I've just lost. I've just lost too many people to both substance abuse and mental health. Sorry, I'm just getting a little emotional because we're only 8 months in, and I've already lost quite a few people. So I'm sorry. I'm really rambling now. So I guess I don't know what I'm going to call this as a topic or what I'm going to describe this as in terms of YouTube, but it is not a reading, but it did occur on August 9th, but in reality it also occurred on August 15th, so I'll figure out how to describe this. But for now, I want you to stay safe, stay strong, and stay sober, because I want you to realize that you're worth it. You're worth being alive. You don't need to keep going down a bad pathway. You don't need the negative self-talk. You don't need the despair, the loneliness, the guilt, the shame, the desperation, the hopelessness, the loneliness. You don't need that. You deserve a good life. And that's what I hope for you. So I'm Josh, the founder of the Accountability Group, and I'm also Josh, fighting as hard as I can the diseases of addiction and mental health. And I wish nothing but the best for you. So, thank you.